I hate to have to break this to you, but if you're here right now, you're probably smart. Your intellectual capacity is probably a little higher than the average bear. You've got some real horsepower between your ears, okay? So we realize that right now there are things going on in the world like never, ever before. Sure, we invest in silver, gold, precious metal mining stocks, but we keep a close eye on what's going on in the world, and we like to analyze things. We like to talk about what's going on. And when we do that right now, right, if you're around my age, I'm 52, we see things happening at a pace and a severity level like we have never seen in our lifetime. And we know that the vast majority of people in our Western countries don't realize how significant these events are. Let's talk about them right now. Now, we're not doom and gloomers. We're analysts. We are realists. We want to see the forest through the trees. Read between the lines. And when we do that, we see the world is splintering right now. The world is separating the West and the East on many levels. Politically, economically, things are changing very quickly. And something very important that I think we need to consider and remember is the fact that things aren't going to go back to the way they were. The massive changes we've seen already in 2022, it's not like if peace settlement was agreed upon in Ukraine, for instance, that we're going to say, oh, okay, well, let's put everything back to the way it was in 2021. No, the cat is out of the bag, and these changes are here to stay. And right now, it looks like the momentum is moving in the direction that things are changing even further, moving further apart when we consider the East, Russia, China, the BRICS nations, and the West, America, and the other Western countries. For instance, we just got news that Germany seized control of some Russian-owned oil refineries in their country. What does that tell us? That, to me, is like a drastic move that is just totally changing the face of political relationships, economic relationships. Do you think Russia's real happy about that? I would think not. And this isn't a matter of us agreeing or disagreeing that actions like that should be taken. It's just recognition as to the severity of the conflict that's going on right now in our world. And the war in Ukraine, it's not showing us any signs of ending anytime soon. The Western countries, including the United States, continue to ship more and more weapons there and provide them with more advanced weapons. Every time it seems like they're maybe at a stalemate or the Russians are advancing, the Western countries provide more weapons and more advanced weapons, and the situation just seems to escalate and escalate and escalate. It's getting kind of scary. As a matter of fact, a Russian spokesperson last week again reiterated the fact that if they keep getting pushed, at some point, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, we don't want this to happen, but they like to remind the West that they have nuclear weapons. And it's a sad situation because we know most people in the world want peace and prosperity and camaraderie, just like you get when you come to Ron's Basement. You are always welcome here for some camaraderie. I appreciate you giving me a little bit of your precious time. You are important. Wherever in the world you're joining us from right now, thank you. If you enjoy my content, you can subscribe right here. Please give the video a thumbs up. Turn on the bell notification. That way you'll get notified every time I put out a new video. I put out content darn near every day. You can rely on me. You've got a friend for life. In these Eastern countries, China, Russia, the BRICS, Iran, I believe you can include in that list as well. They're getting along rather well right now. As a matter of fact, they just had a meeting last week. They all got together, lots of smiley faces. They're developing their own reserve currency to get away from the dollar. Moscow and Putin are developing their own central market to get away from the metals market that currently exists in the West, the LBMA and the COMEX. They're going to have their own central precious metals trading hub because they believe the price of silver and gold are artificially suppressed downward. At this meeting, Vladimir Putin reiterated the fact that basically, hey, we're not even using the full extent of our military. We're using a fraction of it. We've got a lot more in reserve. From a potential for escalation, this is looking like kind of a scary situation. And then we get news that the Ukrainian President Zelensky is requesting some type of security guarantees, a formal arrangement with NATO, not full-fledged NATO membership, but more of a what I'll call NATO light type arrangement. That really angered the Russians, and their spokesman said something along the lines of the land will burn, concrete will melt. I don't know, guys. This just looks like a situation that continues to escalate, and we can only hope that things get worked out. What do you say we talk about China for a few minutes? Things don't look real rosy there either. As a matter of fact, there was a poll of the American public that discovered 40% of America believes that the Chinese Communist Party believes that they are at war with the United States. And then we got news that China has sanctioned executives from both Boeing and Raytheon over a recent arms deal with Taiwan. Things continue to be tenuous with China as well, and we know that China is becoming ever closer to the Russians and the other Eastern countries, including the BRICS. Things are just really a big mess right now. Again, I think the vast majority of the Western population has no idea this is going on. We do. We like to talk about it. Hopefully we don't worry about it too much, but in many ways, this is not an easy situation. It's hard to see what the future will bring. One thing for sure, I'll be here for you through it all. Like I said, I put out content every single day, and I intend to continue that one day at a time. You got a friend here in Ron's Basement. We'll navigate these choppy waters. We'll see what this means eventually for the price of silver and gold. Silver and gold have seen this show several times over the last 5,000 years and have maintained their value through it all. Hey, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.